What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing what I don't like about this bike actually. Whoops. Definitely need to work on those downshifts. To be honest, there's not much. So I don't know how long of a video this is actually going to be. Okay, forgot how much fun this bike is. Alright, let's get started with the video, shall we? Number one, the first thing I don't like about this bike has got to be the fuel gauge. Why? Because there isn't one. That's the problem. There's not a fuel gauge, we only have a fuel light on this bike. And for those of you that don't know, I'm riding a ZX6R 2009 model, and even the newer ones, and the older ones I believe so, don't have the fuel gauge. So I mean, it's alright if you're riding on the track, but if you're riding around town and stuff, it's a bit of a pain. And if I'm perfectly honest, I don't even know how much miles to the tank's empty when the fuel light comes on. So yeah, massive, just a massive pain overall. Number two, so this is kind of a dislike, kind of not a dislike. You kind of know that you're going to get into this when you get this bike anyway, but it's the attack position that you're sitting in all the time. The ergonomics of this bike aren't very forgiving, especially if you're, oh god, was that a deer or a fox or what? I don't know. But anyway, the ergonomics of this bike isn't very forgiving, especially if you're an older person or an older rider. Your back will start hurting after a while, and your feet are all the way up as well on the foot pegs. You're really in a committed attack position. So if you're riding around town for a long time, it's not the best. It's better for the track. But at the same time, like I said, right, when you get this bike, you know that's what's going to happen. So it's not like the worst thing in the world. You kind of buy it knowing that in the first place, and if you didn't know that, well, you know that now. So that's just something to bear in mind if you decide to get this bike. Oh, that was right. That's right, with the sun don't shine. That drain really hurt me there. Which brings me on very nicely to point number three, is the suspension setup on this bike. It is so phenomenally, it is excruciatingly hard. So any like little bump, any pothole you go over, you're really going to feel it. This bike just does nothing in the way of dampening any of the suspension. But once again, this is a race bike essentially made for the street. So all they really did was stick headlights on it and said, there you go, street legal, now you can go ride it on the street, but it's still a race bike. So you've got that racing suspension set up, and you're going to feel every single thing you run over. You can obviously get the suspension adjusted, but I don't know how much that will help, because at the end of the day, still a race bike made for the street. And the popo watching you all the time. You know what, since I just saw the police, let me just chuck a bonus point in there as well. This is a super sport bike at the end of the day, so when you're riding around, you're a bit of a hot target for the cops. They're going to be looking at you, they're going to think you're going to be speeding, they'll probably scan your plate most likely as well. So just bear that in mind. Come on, give me that space, baby. Give me that space. So much fun, man. You know, so much fun with this bike, it's ridiculous. Alright, that's more than enough fun for me. Alright, where are we? Number three? I think I'm number three? Oh, I don't know, whatever. Alright, so what have I been over? I've been over the suspension, the fuel gauge, yep, and I've also been over the ergonomics. Alright, so I'm on number four actually. So number four, I've got to say, has to be the maintenance costs. So you think, you know, you're going to get a ZX6R, a motorbike, and it's going to be quite cheap to maintain compared to a car, for example. Like, I just got my tyres changed, and I only got mid-range tyres, and they cost me 280 quid, which is a lot more than your average car, I'd say. Well, for my car anyway, for example. As with anything, there's always hidden costs. So, you know, the insurance on a ZX6R isn't, because because it's a super sport, it's not really cheap at all, right? It's quite expensive, especially if you're like a beginner and you've only had a couple of years riding experience. You've also got the passion side of things, right? So this isn't necessarily maintenance, but things you want to do to this bike. Like if you want to get like a slip-on exhaust or a full exhaust, a full exhaust system is going to cost you about £1,000. You know, aftermarket levers, they're going to cost you around 100 quid. So just things like that that people don't really necessarily think about when they first get the bike. They think, oh, all I'm doing is paying for the bike, £5 or so for the bike. But really, when you're buying a bike, make sure you check the insurance price on it before you buy it, because it's not as cheap as you probably think, unless you're an older rider, obviously, with a lot of years under your belt. God. So that's my fourth point, the maintenance costs and the passion money. But honestly, like, I'm really struggling to think of a number 5, because I had 5 points written down, but when you're on this bike, you really just enjoy the experience, I can't lie. You don't have to worry about anything else, because all you're just doing is this the whole time, just going fast. The fifth point is got to be that the fact that this bike, the fifth point is most definitely that this bike doesn't have any of the electronics that the later bikes do. So this bike doesn't come with low and high power mode, doesn't come with any traction controls, no 1, 2 and 3. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, ABS. It doesn't come with the ABS. I had the generation that was 2009 to 2012, they didn't have any of those extra electronics, which is really, really useful if you're like a intermediate rider or a beginner rider, which I am. So I'd much rather have those on the bike, but because I got the 2009 model, it doesn't come with those extra electronics, it doesn't come with that extra comfort. But once again, it's not the worst thing in the world. You just, as long as you ride safe, it's okay, and you're respectful of the bike. But that is something to be mindful of. And if you want all the extra electronics on your bike, just get the 2000, I think it starts from 2012, I'm not sure. Just double check that it has all the electronics with it. Ooh, fellow biker, hello. Dude, I love it. I love meeting random riders, or just seeing random riders on the road. Come on, open up. Open this road up, baby. Let me go, let me be free. I wonder if he's going to absolutely slam it as well. I can't scream like a girl! Amazing feeling. What an amazing feeling. God damn. Oh, he really went for that. Oh, I love you, random guy. I'm gonna miss you. I mean, that's it, I guess. That's it for the video. If you guys have any gripes about this bike, let me know in the comments. Woo! Alright, catch you guys next time. Peace. Give a little rev bomb at the end over here, I guess. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. That guy probably thought I was saying peace to him. Lol.